right, welcome back to eCentral. My name is Kate Adeogun. And of course, just like we said, we mentioned that we have a special guest in the studio today. Now, visual storytelling is not just about what we see, it's about what we feel. From the way light hits a subject to how a camera captures emotion, cinematographers have the unique power to turn simple moments into pure magic. Today, we are diving into that world, the artistry, the technique, and the emotion behind the lens as we explore the world of visual storytelling with a special guest, a professional cinematographer, Esiaga Favour. Hi, Esiaga, how are you doing?
Hello.
How are you? High five.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's so nice to be here. I'm honored to be on the show with you right now.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now, I'm going to start this way. How does cinematography contribute to transforming ordinary moments, to something magical?
That's a very good question, by the way. Eventually, it's very important for you to know that cinematography has to do with keeping memories, you get? And eventually, we cannot leave one memory twice, you get? So many times, when you capture those memories, you hold on to it because it's like an evidence that you lived this moment. So it's why in our field, it's highly seen as insensitive when you possibly lose a file, and before even trying to be remorseful, you are speedily suggesting, oh, I just want to process a refund. You can process a refund, but you cannot process back that whole emotion, the whole feeling, the whole, the beauty of what that moment felt like when you were filming it. You get? That is why, cinematography does a lot of good to our everyday, activity and our world of today.
Absolutely. But in what ways does visual storytelling shape how audiences interpret, a message?
Visual storytelling, visual storytelling has to do with, the feelings of humans, you get. So it is mostly relative to what you experience every day. You get my point. So we just tend to replicate what you're already living. You get my point. What you're already living from your day-to-day life, and then we bring it to you in a different light. It's just like you watching your own life from another lens. You get my point? So it's a whole different feeling. And it feels really cool. Just like you feel like God when you're watching a movie and then you're watching the life of other characters.
Yeah.
You get? So visual storytelling does that for you. Without storytelling in something that is visual, there is no source, there is no anchor to it. So visual storytelling is very, very important.
Because sometimes I put my shoes in, some of your clients. I put myself in some of your clients' shoes, right? When they see their videos after you're done with it, I'm like, how do they feel when they see this video? Because even me, sometimes I'm like, what? How did we get this? So what are some of the elements that makes the visual magical? Is it the lighting? Is it the framing? Is it the emotion? Is it the personality? What exactly makes it magical?
It wouldn't be okay to refer to it as some of the elements. It's all of the elements.
All.
You get? Because, when I'm teaching my classes, I tell them, right, if you're a visual storyteller, it means the first thing you want to communicate is what they should see. Then the next thing is what they should hear. And that will pass to become what they now feel, right? So it is everything. Everything has to come together to make a whole. And that whole becomes, something very spectacular, Like now, for instance, you can put very good visuals together and then the audio doesn't match up. It's a problem. Now, if the audio matches up, but the mood in terms of lighting doesn't match up, it's still a problem. If the mood matches up and then the effects don't match up, it's still a problem, right? If all of that matches up and then the story doesn't have a good flow, we still have a problem.
That's interesting. So many problems.
So at the end of the day, it's just about you. First of all, you get a job with a client, you have to research about them. What do they like? What do they relate to? What kind of artists do they listen to? Do you get my point? So when you figure out all of those, when you want to make your videos, you find out that you are doing something really good. And the fact that a person can relate to a thing is what makes them really drawn to that thing. You get? So you don't do what is meant for this person, for that person. You don't judge this book, by this one or all of that. Everybody is different. So your visual should be different for every single person. But it's a whole. Everything coming together to become one thing. So every department is important.
Okay, this brings me to this question, right? You have, I don't know if I should say collaborated with so many celebrities. You know, there's Tomike. Tomike is always making noise about you.
Oh, yeah,
there's
that's like...
Vicky James, there's Hilda Bassi, you know. All of them, they are different personalities. How do you create content for these people without having to bring another person into another person? You know, what's your creative process like, especially when you're shooting for these different personalities?
Creative process, yes, that's very important. You know, there's something also referred to as a thought process. You get, and for everybody, it is quite different. You know, for like Tomike that you mentioned, yeah, that is somebody who is very, very dear to me beyond, you know, just the job, because she's amazing beyond the job. So a big thumbs up to her. You know, I would blow my trumpet about her anywhere, anytime, right? But one thing you have to realize that Tomike's personality every day just speaks energy. You get, she's not someone who wants to sit back in one place and just relax. She's somebody who is out and about. She's somebody who is very, very active. So you want to bring that personality into her videos. Now, using Hilda Bassi as the other opposite, Hilda Bassi is not exactly a dull person. Hilda Bassi is an excited person, childlike excitement, you know, but not very, you know, she cannot jump from here to here like Tomike and do all of that. So with Hilda Bassi, you just want to bring cuteness into her video. You want to bring peace, but with a lot of, you know, excitement, a mix of joy.
A Barbie kind of thing.
Yes, a Barbie kind of person. She's a happy person. So eventually, that's why I say, you study these persons, you know, you do research about them, you go on their pages, what they post is what they relate to, is what they like. You see what they are doing, the kind of people they are following. And when you see all of these things, you can then say, okay, yeah, I know what to do for this person.
Let's do it this way.
Yeah, I know what to do for this person. But sometimes clients also see what you did for this person, and then they call you and expect you to do what you did for that person for them, not realizing that it is two different categories. Yeah, the same way I would have shot a party is not the same way I would shoot a student's gathering.
Right.
You get my point?
Yeah,
so
I understand that.
It's all boils down to like personality.
So because we're so pressed for time, I'm going to ask this two questions in one, right? So you're going to help me to keep it very short, right? Okay. How does technology continue to influence the way stories are told, you know, visually today? And as a creative yourself and business, how do you merge these things together in 30 seconds? Okay, for technology, I would say first of all that when you start the journey, it matters more about the shooter, the person who is shooting this movies and stuff, than the gears that they're using. But over time, when you progress, it now matters the shooter, that's the person who is shooting these movies, and then the gears that they're using, right? So you see this thing implementing AI and all of that. No, it's not just AI stealing your jobs. You need to get updated too. You get my point? If not, you would be left out. Right. You would be left out. So you follow up. You become part of, you know, the big thing. Don't just leave it and say, oh, no, I'm not now. Follow up, learn it too. Right. And when it comes to the business side of things, do you want to go over that question again? So that 10 seconds. Yeah. I think I'm going to talk about that off air. We'll definitely do, because we're so pressed for time. But I thank you so much for coming on the show today.
You're welcome.
We hope that next time we'll call you, you'd oblige to our call. Thank you so much for coming, Esiaga. All right, that's a wrap. We'll draw the curtain for the show today on E Central. Thank you so much for watching.